whenever you're seeing episode 43, season 5, written by Precious Chinwe Obialor-Ukazim. So, let's dive in. Unemeka, who has been home for almost 1 month for the holiday, was set to go back to school, though he's aware that Junior is coming back to Nigeria for a short vacation. Chizam tried to convince him to wait and see his brother since it's just in a week's time, but he refused, stating that he needed to go back to school because, as it has been his habit right from when his worship team was still active, they always begin every semester with a set apart necessity to continue with the set apart, even though there was no longer a worship team. His mother had no choice but to let him go. Divine, who had grown so fond of him and was always going to his room to stay, even when Unemeka hardly spoke with her. She would stay in Unemeka's room all day while he prayed and read books, and at some point she joined him in doing everything she saw him do: praying, reading the Bible, and sitting quietly with her eyes closed in meditation. She only goes out whenever she's hungry to collect her food or snacks, or when it's bedtime. Sometimes she dozed off in his room and they would have to go carry her to her room. Though he barely talked with her, Unemeka also cared for her as his little baby sister and bought things for her whenever he goes out, and sometimes he allowed her tag along if she asked to follow him. When they go to church on Sundays or fellowships at the Potter's Place on Wednesdays, she clinged to him, go in the same car with him and sit where he sits. And now that the vine could not bear it, she began to cry and would not be consoled. Divine, why are you crying? Don't you want your brother to go back to school? Chizam had asked when it all started, and everybody laughed over it. But the crying persisted when she clung to Unemeka's leg and would not let him go. I don't want him to go, she cried profusely. Unam, you can now see that it's not only me that doesn't want you to go. Who knows? Maybe God doesn't even want you to go today. Why not? Chizayam wanted to capitalize on the situation on ground to weaken his resolve, but Unemeka caught her a disapproving eye. And she quickly held her peace and didn't bother completing her statement. She laughed heartily, knowing that she has been caught. Divine, don't worry. I'll be back soon, okay? He stood to console her. No, I don't want you to go. Divine cried in response, but he took his time to come. And walked away without looking back. About an hour later, the plane flying from Enugu en route to Owerri had crashed shortly after the takeoff. Nnamdi was not at home and was oblivious to the happenings. But when Chizaram read the news on her phone, it felt like a fake news, yet it shook her entire being. For a moment, she couldn't move, and her blood pressure rose sharply. She felt instant dizziness and her vision became blurred. No, not my son. She rejected the whispers in her ears telling her that it's the plane Unemeka boarded that crashed and that her son was gone. Confused, she ran out of the room even with the blurry vision to go and look for Unemeka in his room, only to find all the people living in the house all standing together in a group and whispering words among themselves. Some panicking and the ladies crying already, but the moment they saw her, they all composed themselves and began to disperse one after the other. Everywhere became cold. She went into Unemeka's room, but he wasn't there. Her eyes playing tricks on her, it seems like she saw him entering the bathroom, and she rushed to the bathroom, opened the door and looked in there, but he wasn't in there. She ran upstairs again, picked her phone and began to call his number, but none was going through. Hey! The funny part is, I don't even know what to believe, but I want to believe that it's not his plane. I just want to tell myself that it is not Nemeka's plane. Or should I say, I want to believe that he was not in the plane. Or better, should I say, the plane took off before he got to the airport. Or something just happened. But one thing I'm sure is, he cannot die. Oh. That's one thing I can only hold on to. Unemeka cannot die. Never. He will not die, and he cannot die. But we will know that one tomorrow. I have no words to say right now. Have a beautiful and great day, and happy new month once again.